What's going on, boys? Welcome back to some more SideSwipe. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different from our usual gameplay videos. I am going to be letting a little bit of twos going in the background, but the main topic of today's video is going to be a little problem that has came out with the release of Season 7 in SideSwipe. When Season 7 first came out, myself and a lot of others were super excited about the alpha and the chromatic items. It gave a lot of the players that thought that ranked was getting kind of stale something to grind for. But then Season 7 dropped and I got to play it for a week or two, and I kind of noticed something that a lot of other people have noticed as well, and that is that the SideSwipe points and the new tokens are extremely hard to get. And I happened to come across this post on the SideSwipe subreddit that had a pretty good point, and lots of comments I also had pretty good points. So today we're going to go over a lot of the talking points that this post and the comments had, and then I'm going to weigh in with what I think as well. Let's go ahead and get right into the first one. Alrighty boys, to start it off with the main post itself, I'm not going to read it word for word. I am going to let it stay up for just a second so you guys can kind of read it if you want to. And then as I'm talking about certain points, I'll kind of just crop it so you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. But they start off their post with saying that this game has two pillars in it, which is grinding ranks and item hunting, which I definitely agree with. I'm certainly more on the grinding rank side myself, at least I was until Season 7 came out. Now I'm kind of more in the middle, but there's no denying that those two things are big points for a lot of the player base. He goes on to say that with this latest Season 7 update, the SideSwipe points had been super hard to attain. And I was super surprised with his next sentence. It is kind of hard to be super accurate with it because we have no way of knowing how many duplicates he sold in the past and how many he has sold this season, but they're saying that they used to get 60,000-ish points after selling all of their duplicate items, but after this latest update, they're now only getting under 5,000. That is a 55,000 SideSwipe point loss, and that is just absolutely wild if the rates really did get changed that much. And I actually didn't realize this myself. I definitely remember getting SideSwipe points and an item from all the crates that we would open. But now that I think about it, I think whenever we open like a body present or whatever it may be, you only get that one item. So he's definitely right. I wonder if that alone is enough to cut down those rates. I don't really think so, since he said the duplicates are how he gets his money usually. But maybe though. And never mind boys, if I had just read on just a little bit more, he goes on to say that whenever you refund certain items, they give a lot less points than they used to. It seems that cutting down on giving you the item and the points, and then also how much you get for duplicates, is really cutting down on the rates. I'm not sure what their intention was with it. I'm sure they're wanting people to kind of grind out the game and play it longer, but if you make it too difficult to get things that you want, people are not going to want to grind out the game for that long. Moving right along to the next comment, we're going to go ahead and look at the main point of this one, and that is that they have been playing since preseason and have a total of 337 unique items. And then further down in their post, they say that they have went ahead and done the math, and at the rate that they play the game, which happens to be about 20-ish minutes a day, it would take them at least 10 seasons for them to get to the very end of the current Rocket Pass system. Now there is no guarantee that it takes all of those Rocket Passes to get all the items that you want, but with how difficult it is to get the points that you need and the tokens as well, it very well could take that long. And this bottom paragraph is something I see a lot of people mimicking as well. A lot of players are apparently logging in, getting their free item, maybe playing a game or two, and then hopping off until the next day so they can get their free item reset. Now at the very least, at least people are logging in each day to try to get some kind of items, but if that's all they're wanting to stay on and play for, then we do have a little bit of a problem. And another thing on top of that, if whenever they do log in and they continuously only get really bad items, or they get a very small amount of points or tokens, it's a bit of a sting, and it might lead to them not even wanting to get their daily stuff going. And moving right along to the next comment chain, the first comment mentions that the current point economy is really bad right now, and then they go on to say that they thought this update was supposed to encourage filling out collections, but at their current rate they're only getting 2 drops in every 100 games, and that is an absolutely insane drop rate. I really hope that it's not, but a lot of people are having a rough time with getting their items, so who really knows honestly. Then the second comment says that you need 10 tokens to open one of those crates, and you only get 1 token for every 10 wins. I do know that some of the challenges give you 2 tokens. I was really surprised to see that was kind of the higher end of the token rewards. Maybe there's higher ones that I haven't seen just yet, but I definitely remember getting the 2 challenge done. And there's also a really good point saying that the loot from the token crate that is super hard to get could be something as little as 300 points or a duplicate. And I definitely definitely have experience getting the duplicates. I have gotten pretty lucky because unfortunately I traded in a ton of items throughout these later seasons, so I have to kind of restart my inventory, which is something that we're going to talk about in a little bit as well. But I do know a lot of people that are closer to getting their collections filled out are having issues with getting duplicates, and I know that's gotta sting a ton to be so close and then getting something that you already have that doesn't get you any closer to what you're wanting. It would definitely be a very good thing to have duplicate protection. I know there has to be a little bit of duplicates here and there, because if you're just guaranteed to get new items all the time, it would be a little bit too easy and too fast to get what you're wanting. But maybe after like 3 duplicates or something, maybe guarantee a new item. I don't really fully know the best way to go about it, but some kind of protection would certainly be nice. Then moving right along, then we have another commenter that goes on to say that they are more upset about the fact that they used to sell everything in the past seasons that they didn't want to collect, and then they go on to add the alpha rewards that you need to have all of them of to get that reward. And I can absolutely sympathize with this person. That same exact thing happened to me. It was a very rough thing to find out that if I had just held on to everything over all these seasons, I could be driving around with alpha boost or alpha wheels or something. If there had been any indication that we should hold on to our stuff, I absolutely would have held on to everything, but unfortunately there was no kind of post about it. Not really anything that we can do about it now, but I absolutely know what he's talking about. That was definitely a rough realization. Then the comment below says that it's even worse knowing that this time around it's going to be a lot harder to get due to these very decreased drop rates and how hard it is to get points and tokens now. And I didn't even think about that, but they are absolutely right. In the past, you were getting a ton of items every day if you were playing a bunch. You were able to save up your points to an insane amount, but that is just definitely not the case anymore. And it's going to be very hard to get back all those things that we traded in for sure. Maybe if they have like an increased drop rate weekend sometime, that could be a way to get some of these items back for players that kind of did the same thing that we did. I feel like that'd be a pretty cool thing to do here and there. Maybe like a once a month or once every few months, just kind of have something like that makes everyone really want to come back to the game for a weekend or something. Just kind of brainstorming a little bit, throwing ideas around. But moving right along to the next comment, it's kind of similar to the one that we were just talking about, but this poster goes on to say that they wish they would have told us about the points changing prior to the season ending, because they did a massive opening at the end of season 6 where they went through 300-ish thousand of the points trying to finish out all the common items that we had before this latest season. And they are also on the upper end of grinders because they play 4 to 6 hours a day, and if they're playing 4 to 6 hours a day and they only have 34-ish of the tokens, that ratio has definitely got to be bumped up a little bit, I'm thinking. And they've only gotten 20,000 of the points as well in that same time. And this person isn't having the same issue that we were having with trading in all their items. They just started the season prior and now they're having a rough time getting any items at all. Well, they're probably not getting too many duplicates, but they are realizing how much of a grind it's going to be to get all those items that they could have been getting easily in the past seasons. So it seems that that is a very common theme so far, trying to get the items that you want and realizing that we used to get items a lot faster than we currently do. But moving right along to the next commenter, getting off of the topic of the SideSwipe points, here is a comment that I kind of agree with as well. I'm a little bit confused on how this game is kind of still going, honestly, but they say, am I the only one that's still bewildered how there is no microtransactions in this game? Unless I'm wrong, the battle pass is free and there's no way to purchase points and there's not even any ads, as SideSwipe just made no profit. And unless I'm missing something super big here, I have to assume that there's no profit being made at all, and the only main reason for the game is kind of driving people towards 3D Rocket League. I've not really seen any post in the 3D Rocket League announcement page. Maybe whenever the game first came out there was something, but it definitely seems that SideSwipe is intended to drive people to 3D rather than 3D making them aware of SideSwipe. And then on to the microtransaction part of it, I am honestly super surprised as well. There's a lot of them in 3D Rocket League. I'm not exactly sure why they're not in this game as well. There's probably a very good reason. I'm sure they don't just hate money, but we probably will never fully know. But it would definitely be nice to kind of get some kind of answer on this. I know the community is very split on it. A lot of people do not want microtransactions in the game, but unfortunately that is a way to keep a player base going. People that are very interested in items and want to look the best and kind of show off are very interested in that kind of stuff, but we'll just have to wait and see what happens. Alrighty boys, that pretty much wraps up the main post and the main comments that I was seeing. If you guys have any kind of opinions on any of the comments that I talked about, please be sure to share them below and I will try to get back to you guys on what I think as well. Hopefully this is addressed in a future update. I'm really hoping we don't have to wait until season 8 because I would definitely love to grind out some alpha items, but at my current ratio video. I'm not sure when I'm going to get to showcase anything for you guys because it is very rough to get anything going. But if you guys did enjoy this video and would like to see more like it in the future, please drop a like and maybe even a sub, and I will talk to you all in the next one. See ya.